Thank you for tuning in to the Life of KG podcast. We are all about helping you guys in the beauty industry. Whether you're starting out in this industry or been in the business for years, we want to motivate you, educate you, and support you to grow. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend, and this week going to be enjoying the sun. I can't wait to get out in it anyway, especially before our businesses launch open again, hopefully in less than 2 weeks. So today I get to interview Rochelle. She owns a super salon in Central Milton Keynes. She's a creator, she's an entrepreneur, she's a mummy. She is just super busy. I can't wait for her to share her story and how she runs business along babies. So without further ado, here she is. So Rochelle, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's all right. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So can you introduce yourself, say who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Rochelle. I have 3 businesses within the hair industry. I run an academy, I have an extension method, and I also have a hair salon. And I've just recently started selling premium hair care as well for a network marketing group. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Ah, cool. So you're very, very busy.
Always, yeah. And I'm a mum of 2, so that's a full-time job in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how you do it with 2. I just about cope with 1.
Oh, it honestly, there's such a big change from 1 to 2, but I feel like we're going to come out the other end and hopefully it'll be all right. I'm not going to kind of go back on myself, so fingers crossed.
Do you think you'll have any more?
Nope, done. I'm literally so done. Like I felt like I wanted a girl and I wanted a boy, so I'm done. I just think upset the balance, and I would need a different car and things like that, a bigger house. So I'm just happy where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't want to do it again. If I did, I'd want another. So I'd want 4, and I just couldn't imagine 4.
Yeah.
It'd be stressful. Yeah, exactly.
So Rochelle, everyone has a story behind them. What is yours, and what made you go into wanting to set up your own salon?
So I always really struggled to find hair salons that could accommodate my hair. So I just started doing my own hair and watching, I used to go to like Salon International and places like that, and just like watched all of the demos. Like this was before YouTube was massive as well. So I'd watch a few YouTube videos and just kind of educated myself. And then I got really good at doing my own hair, so I started doing my friends. And then I was like, do you know what? I really want to like change my career point, and I'm going to go into hairdressing. So I went and did all of my qualifications and started up doing mobile hair. And with mobile hair, it was really difficult to like find the time. Like I was losing probably an hour a day just traveling, getting a bit lost. You know, my sat nav then was awful, and I would literally continually be like trying to find someone's house. And when you find it the first time, that's fine, but it's the packing up, the unloading, the mess, and I just never felt like it was a professional service. So I then started getting people to come to my house, and at the time I was actually going to get my mum and dad's garage converted, but then they decided that they were moving to Italy. So that left a spanner in the works, and I kind of got pushed into it, and I'm so glad I did, because I was 24 at the time, and I look back now and I think, whoa, I was a complete baby. Like, how did I do it? I think I just turned 24 as well. So I found a place and I went in it with a friend, and she did beauty, I did hair, and we literally just kind of started off the cuff with like secondhand furniture from eBay. I think I bought it from a business going out of business. So I got like secondhand chairs. I did all the decorating myself. I got some like boutique looking wallpaper and mirrors and stuff. And yeah, just like slowly kept on making it better as I went along. And the more I got in, the more I would repurchase new stuff. Yeah, so that was it really. That was just kind of how I got to the point. And I never advertised. This was kind of when social media wasn't that big. and I tapped into it really early on. So we got quite a good following from quite early. I started posting pictures and getting my clients to post pictures and to tag us and to say, I've been to the doll's house, and all of their friends would see their hair, and then in turn they then saw their hair, and it just kind of was a knock-on effect from there. So yeah, I love social media, and I never advertise, and I literally just use social media in that sense.
Wow. So how long has the salon been going now?
It will be 10 years in September.
That's a long time then.
Yeah, I can't believe it's going to be 10 years. I was fully saying to myself, I'll never get to 10 years. And then, yeah, here it is.
I know, time just flies, doesn't it? Have you seen the industry change a lot within that 10 years?
Oh, so much so. In a good way as well. I feel like we're becoming more regulated as well. And people are making a more informed decision. There was a lot of rogue hairdressers in my day, and a lot of people doing hair extensions that were just hair extensionists. But I mean, there are a few still day courses, but I feel like people are making more of a decision, and they're choosing whether or not to use these companies. Because there are people out there who really are, you know, spending a lot on their education and their, you know, continued professional development. So it's good to see that people are, you know, educating themselves more. In terms of colouring, you know, patch testing is a really big thing now, and it never used to be in my day, and that's good to see as well. So yeah, it seems to be good.
So obviously business isn't easy, and I think a lot of people see like the flash cars, the nice house, the big salon, like the holidays. They don't really see like behind the scenes and what it took to build up that business. How was business for you in the early days?
Oh, I think I got one of my old diaries out, one of my first diaries, and me and my husband sat there and laughed because I thought I was busy then, and it was like, oh my God, you're so cute. Like, look at my diary. I think I had like, probably one of the times, I think I had like a 4-hour gap, and I probably like cleaned the salon and went and did flyer dropping and stuff. But that was literally when I thought I was busy. Compared to now, like, I would never have thought I'd have stylists and a team of people. I have a PA that also does a lot of my social media and my answering of everything like emails and ordering stock. And that was a job that I single-handedly did by myself. So to now have somebody helping me do that, it was really hard to let go as well. But yeah, I have just gone from strength to strength. And I think the main thing is that I was never afraid of hard work, and I did put in the hours. Even though I had a 4-hour gap, I still started at 10 o'clock. And some days I would finish at 10 o'clock, and I'd stay in the salon for those 4 hours. So it's not like I was ever, you know, swanning around. It was always a lot of hard work and dedication. And now I'm in my 10th year, I'm able to go on these times and take a bit of time with my children. Lockdown has massively helped me learn to unwind too. I'm very, very tough on myself. I don't let myself have a break. Like this morning I was up at 5 a.m. and I was being really productive, and I was getting out my posts and replying to Instagram. But this weekend I actually said, look, I'm going to reply to everything on Monday. And that's something that I've never been able to do. So I've seen the growth within myself. And honestly, it's all about hard work. Everything that you do is hard work. I will purchase a new course, and then I'll go back in and I'll practice it, and then I'll, you know, train my team on things. And I think that's the main thing. Like, people just think it's overnight success, and it really isn't. It's knowing what to do, why to do it, and how to do it, and just continuing it with it. Like, a lot of people get quite lax. Like, I've always prided myself on the 6-week appointment. I don't want my client to come to me one time and then on a special offer. I want them to come to me every 6 weeks, and I don't want them to leave here without the knowledge. So that's one thing I always try and do as well, so that we are fully booked for the next kind of 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, definitely. It's key, isn't it? A lot of people don't have that service, or try and book them in for several sessions after, or don't have their details for marketing purposes. So then the client will come in for like that one-off special occasion, but then never hear from the salon again. Like, it's just being in the front of their minds all the time.
Exactly. And you can make their hair look amazing and you can do a really funky cut, but if they can't go back and recreate it and you haven't given them the tools, i.e. teaching them how to style their hair or the right aftercare shampoos, then how else would they do it? They would be really struggling and they wouldn't be able to, recreate that style. And then they're going to think, well, that was just way too funky for me, and they're not going to want to come back to you. So it's all about transparency.
Yeah, definitely. And on you touching that, actually, that comes down to like retail. And I think a lot of like hairdressers and beauticians are scared to retail because they think, oh, we don't want to sell. But actually, it's not that, or is it? It is.
Yeah.
Are they able to recreate that style that you've just done at home? Like, how are they going to look after what you've produced at home?
Yeah. I always tell my staff, like, your client needs shampoo. They're going to buy it from somewhere. So why would they not buy it from a professional who knows their hair, who has physically done it themselves and coloured it and knows what will help to nourish it? So a lot of our aftercare is down to obviously extensions. Like, we have people spend thousands. Like, why would you spend thousands on aftercare, hair extensions, and not on the aftercare, which is around £30? It just doesn't make sense. So it's just creating that value for the client, and everyone that does, they just rebuy because they know how good the product is. Mm-hmm. I physically will always try what we sell, and I personally just couldn't sell you something that I hadn't tried or I didn't believe in. So yeah, we're very particular with what we stock. Yeah,
definitely. I'm exactly the same. If I haven't trialed that and seen a difference, then I'm not stocking it in the salon. So
exactly. And it's not money making. It obviously helps and it's great for a salon owner, but the reality is you are spending out thousands on stock, so you need to be sure that it's a product that people will return and keep buying. So yeah, if you just get any old rubbish in, people won't rebuy it.
Yeah, definitely. So over these last 10 years then, what's been your proudest moment in business so far?
We won Best Local Business. I think that was 2018. It was 2 years ago. So 2018. That was amazing because I still feel really young at heart, and like my girls are like 20s, like really early 20s, and I still think I'm like part of their age group. So to get like a Best Local Business, not just in my industry, just as a general local business, like that was such an achievement, because it just shows that it's hard work and dedication that got that. And I love to see like my team happy too. That's a massive reflection. Mm-hmm. And when they're happy, I'm happy. And when my client leaves and they're happy, that's just everything to me. It's such a confidence boost, and that's probably a part of the reason why lockdown's been really hard for me, because I've obviously been getting quite a few messages from clients like really desperate for me to do their hair. And it's a difficult thing because I don't want to obviously cross any lines or break any laws, but at the same time obviously I want to stop the spread. But I know how much it means to clients and their confidence. They're at home with their partners who probably haven't ever seen them without extensions, and that's been a really difficult thing because I just know the confidence boost that it gives women. So yeah, it is a shame, but we've just all got to be safe as we can.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing it and I've got greys and no lashes, then I've got to do it too.
I know, I think we're all in it together, but I think I've seen so many posts where people are really mad where clients have asked them to do this and that, and I understand that, but at the same time, like, they must feel of shit at the moment. Like, we all feel crap. Like, and like, if they're at home, like with their husbands or with their partner, and their partner always sees them with lashes on or their hair done and all of this, at the moment we feel pretty rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. We're mentally really going through it all. A lot of people are working from home and also looking after children, and that in itself is literally 2 full-time jobs. And women would spend that time to come in the beauty salon, and they would, get that 2 hours of their self-care. And it's just finding different ways now to find that self-care, whether it's when the children have gone to bed, a long bubble bath, even just doing it a bit of DIY, a bit of plucking and a bit of a face mask or a hair mask, just to make yourself feel a bit better. But that's just like obviously what we're all going through. And it is horrible because saying no to someone when you know how desperate they want it and how good it is for their mental health, but at the same time, it's just, I obviously wouldn't want to do anything to put anyone at risk. So yeah, it's just trying to do the right thing for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you've mentioned about you've got your 2 babies who are very, very adorable. How do you find running a business and a family? Like, how do you fit in a plus yourself?
I don't fit myself in. That's probably it. So I feel like you always come last as a mum anyway, and especially when you have businesses, like they take complete paramount. But I promised with my first son, I probably had about 6 weeks off. I think it was actually less. I think it was 3 weeks. And then I went back and started doing a few days.
Yeah.
And I promised myself when I had my daughter that I would give them a bit more time, because I didn't want them to just always see the top of my head whilst I was constantly in a phone or coming in and missing bedtimes. And I see the bond that my son had with his dad and my husband, and it made me sad, because I've always heard that, you know, like my son loves me to death, but he will always choose his dad to just hang out with, and the bond that they've got so lovely. So I promised myself that I would try and find that time, because you don't get that time back when they're little. And I've had it in the past where I've sacrificed so much of my time for clients, and they've turned around and they've gone to someone slightly cheaper, or, you know, someone that comes to their house. So I know that I am sometimes indispensable to them. So I'm not indispensable to my children. Like, they are there for life, and I want to always have those memories. So I had to put my foot down and be a bit firmer and say to my clients, look, I'm only going to be doing 3 days a week now, and I'm not working past these times, and I'm only going to be doing a few Saturdays every month. And a lot of my clients respected it, but I also encouraged my other stylists to get busy, because they were then like, well, you've trained this stylist, let me give them a try. And they're so happy with the results. So it's just taking that step and being confident with your ability, and knowing that, you know, your team is good enough. And that's one of the things. I think if I continually stretch myself and I continually, you know, worked all the crazy days I was doing, then, you know, they're going to take it. So I just had to say, right, I'm going to put my family first. And this is why I worked so hard in the beginning, so that I had that time. So yeah, I just had to try and make sure I did it, really.
Yeah, I definitely know exactly where you're coming from. And I think the worry when you have baby, sorry?
It's the mum guilt, isn't it?
Yeah, mum. And I think it doesn't matter how much less you do or how more you do, like, you always have some type of guilt there. But I think we worry about, oh, well, I need to work this, this and this. But then it isn't until you actually put steps in place, like you said, be strict with the times that you were going to work, say no so you don't extend them, and actually you realise, well, business is still running, I'm still taking what I was taking before.
Exactly.
It's not until you have that trust in your team that you're like, actually, I don't even need to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing. Like, if you get yourself a good solid manager, like my manager is amazing. I can't fault her. She is as hardworking as I am, and that's rare to find someone that cares as much about your business as you do.
Yeah.
So I'm holding on to her, like, because she's gold, and that's the main thing. Like, it's given me a chance, so I'm going to reward her. We've partnered up in our new business together, so with our new extension method, so she's a part of that too, and she's obviously reaping the benefits. So for me, it's like, it's worth me being able to get that time back, because we don't get that time when they're little again.
No.
And I don't want to miss out on it, so, or just be tired when I'm with them all the time.
Definitely.
How have you found lockdown?
I've started to really like it, and like part of me is like, I don't even know if I want to go back.
Yeah, I know, I was itching to get back, and now I'm like, I really like this idea of maternity leave. I see why everyone takes it.
No, I can't even imagine having 9 months off, like, with bliss. But no, I really liked lockdown. I think in the beginning, obviously, it was a huge panic. I think then we as humans just adapt so well, and we get used to it. And I think everyone's kind of liking the new lifestyle, a more chilled lifestyle that they have now. And I think as business owners, we're all trying to think, okay, well, how can I still have this, not running a rat race every single day when we go back, and still have kind of more of a balance to life. So I think much as the coronavirus has been so sad, and so many people have lost their lives, and it's just been awful, and obviously the economy is going to crash and things like that. But I think for us personally as individuals, I think it would have done a lot of people good just to have that time out.
Yeah,
Just to start
absolutely.
being grateful for life and grateful for what we've got. And
Exactly. And just bringing it back to basics, like I explored my village. Like, obviously, you know, I've moved out to Bedfordshire, so we had never even known that there was so much history within our village. We've gone to the woods. We've literally really enjoyed the time as a family, and we won't ever get this time back. When else would the government pay you to stay home? Like, it's just never going to happen in our lifetime again, hopefully, anyway. So we just have to get, you know, make the best out of a bad situation.
definitely, I do think it is what we make things. We could have been like on the floor and, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, I'm going to worry about going back and all of that. But I think it's just about enjoying that the time that we've had with our family. Like, I've loved being with my daughter every single day. She's back in school now, but I loved having that time, and like I said, it's time that we're not going to get back. So
Exactly, they are like our little best friends.
yeah,
It's so nice.
I know. There is a lot of mums out there that aren't in business at the moment, and then kind of put their life on hold because they are a mum and feel that they can't run a business alongside having children. What advice would you give on that, and what's kind of your view on that?
So I recently have joined Monet, which is a network marketing company. And before I was very skeptical, but I've seen some friends do some real, you know, get some real success. And it makes sense. It's literally everything I've always applied to business, but you're physically doing it for yourself. And the amount of money you can make within it is incredible. You know, I think it's almost 3 weeks, and the money I've made already, you know, from lockdown, I'm not earning zero. So any little thing's a bonus, but this has been really good bonuses. So I feel like for mums that want to get back into an industry or just want a bit of extra cash, network marketing is such a good investment to do in. You know, like I was saying earlier with retail, I think I paid about £3,000 for my initial stock of a brand that I used. And, you know, a lot of it sits on the shelf, it's dead. Some of the time you need a big warehouse, you need pickers, packers. Like, this is literally a ready-made set up business. You don't have to worry about a website, you know, it's already there for you, and you're literally just doing what you would do, scrolling through Instagram, but you're actually going to start making money from it. So that's a good thing for mums to get into. You know, you are physically working from home, you know, kids still nap, they're eating, you've got a few minutes. You could do that. Or if you're ever and you're looking to like get back into an industry, there's so many courses online nowadays. They were offering out free courses the other day from the Open University for people to just update their skills. So I think the main thing is just going out and taking that risk. No one has ever gone anywhere by saying no. And I always gave myself a goal, and I said, in 5 years, I want to be here. In 10 years, I want to be here. And it's all about positive mental attitude. Without it, I probably would just sit at home and not really do much, but it's pushed me and driven me to get where I needed to be. And, you know, some of the things are quite superficial, but actually it's, you know, providing for my family and not relying on a man to, you know, give me money and wait until that man said, here you go, here's some cash. I'm putting food on the table, providing, and I'm not having to rely on anybody for it. And that's the nicest thing, because I remember always being young thinking that the man could be a breadwinner, but actually no, like, we're 2020, a woman can be as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that I am the breadwinner, my husband does really well too, but I feel like we motivate and inspire each other.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say, is your husband really supportive of you?
he is so supportive. Like, he is a kitchen and a bathroom fitter and electrician by trade, but you know, I wouldn't have the salon I did if it wasn't for him. He plumbed everything in for me. He, you know, put shelves up. He taught me things. I can now physically work a drill and, you know, make stuff from nothing. So, you know, we're a really good team together. But it's nice to know that I have that support from him too. If I do have to work a little bit later, he can obviously hold the fort down as well.
That's so good. Partnership right there. So I wanted to touch on obviously what's been going on in the world lately regarding Black Lives Matter. And obviously I've been watching your social media and I feel that it's been very powerful and moving. And I know you've experienced like racism and stuff in the past. What are kind of your thoughts and feelings regarding this subject at the moment?
Oh God, have we got all day? It's such a vast thing. I feel like it's been underlying for such a long time, and obviously when you start looking at the history of civil rights and, you know, slavery, it wasn't that long ago that these things were abolished. So it's still within family and family lines. You know, you could hear as a child your grandparents say something derogatory towards somebody because of their skin tone, and you would grow up thinking that you are superior, that is right, and your way of thinking is the only way, because it's, you don't know any different. And it's just about education. I have been educating myself. As a mum, I want my children to grow up thinking the world is equal, and I want my friendship circle to teach their children that everybody's equal. And that is the main part of it. It's just treating people as they are humans, and that we aren't different skin tones, and it doesn't define us. You know, I see things where it's like, oh, it's justifying someone being racist. Like, there is never justification for you to be mean to anybody else because of their skin color, their eye color, their hair color. We are all human beings. We bleed the same color blood. Why does it matter? And yeah, like, it's just sad that it's got to this point now that lives are being taken by people in power because they don't like the skin tone. And that's exactly it. It's having a voice so that we can all stand up and say, that's wrong. It's not funny to make a joke about someone's skin color. It's not funny to, you know, take the mick out of somebody.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that our children don't hear these things and they unlearn bad behaviors. As their parents, we're supposed to mold and guide them. And I obviously have a platform for mums, so that's all I'm trying to do, is just obviously show people racism does exist. We can't close our eyes and pretend it doesn't, but we can try and make it a better world. It might not happen in our lifetime, it might not be our children's lifetime, but every small step and every small change and reaction will hopefully create a better reaction. So yeah.
Definitely. I love that. And I just think that you should keep shouting from the rooftops, because I just think you're so, like, obviously you're knowledgeable on all of this situation and everything anyway, but I think you've just got this voice where people will listen. So I think you're doing amazing things. So well done.
Oh, thank you.
How do you go on, sorry.
I've had such good feedback from mums, because like, there's so many women that say, oh, I'm not racist, but it's really good because people are actually being more anti-racist and they're doing work of more inclusion. And I myself was, you know, privy to it. I was saying about my doll, I bought my daughter a doll, her first baby doll, and it looks like her. It's the same skin tone as her, same dark hair, same dark eyes. And I probably would have just gone into Smith's and just grabbed a dolly off the shelf. Mm-hmm. But when you see the variety, it is very minimal for, you know, black or brown skin dolls. So I actually avidly went out and looked for books and looked for dolls that represented my children and my family. My husband and I are both mixed race. So my son and my daughter have one white nanny and one black nanny. So we bought a book that showed their reality and showed their normal, so that they don't grow up thinking that it's strange or it's abnormal. So when someone turns around and says, because they've heard a grandparent say something derogatory, like, oh, why is your, you know, you can't have a white nanny, you can't have a black nanny, they can go, yeah, this is my normal, and teach that child and educate them. So obviously it's just been about being more inclusive, and that's, you know, the steps that I'm taking, and it's so nice to see other mums are doing the same.
Definitely. I think it's a lot of about education, and obviously you don't hear about any of this when it comes to schools as well, like,
yeah.
And I think a lot of could change in that sense.
Same. I've actually signed a few petitions so that it's not just 1 month for Black History, it's inclusive in all history. Because why should 1 month be dedicated to it? Like, it's history. Like, we should know about everything in history. And I think that people will be more proud for their culture, and people will be more adopting, because you know, we love to go on holiday and, you know, accept and find new cultures. So why would we not have that and it be taught in our history books? So yeah, it would be good to see.
Definitely, definitely. How do you think that our industry could help the situation and have an impact when it comes to Black Lives Matters?
Well, I've always said that hair is hair, and I obviously touched on it before. The reason why I started my own salon and doing my own hair was because I had been refused in the past to you know, get my hair done in salons. I went to a few salons and you could see people go, I can't do hair, I can't do black hair. And I've always had very, what people would call easy black hair. Like, my hair is super straight. I have a bit of frizz to it. And it's got like a nice big curl to it. It's not frizzy or afro in any way. But I'd walk in places and they'd say, oh, we don't do black hair, or we don't do afro hair. And I was like, my hair is like a perm, if that. And it was that refusal that made me just go, fine, I'll do my own hair. Or if I did do it, people just couldn't do it good. And that was from afro salons too. I'd been to afro salons and they just like plied it down with grease, so it had no movement, no life. Or I'd go to a normal Caucasian hair salon and they would, you know, it would be brittle, it would be dry, and they didn't smooth it out enough. It was just fluffy still. So it's definitely, you know, about equality and teaching people so they don't have a fear of it. If you educate staff to understand that there's different textures, different hair tones, different, you know, hair types, hair is hair. Like, if I can confidently do anybody's hair, because I know that even though afro hair is very strong, it also has to have a lot of moisture and it can become brittle very quickly. Why are we not including it? Why are we not talking about the cortex? Why are we not talking about all types of hair so that we all have a knowledge? Even if it's a small amount of knowledge, it's still a good thing, because there is so much mixing going on in this world. So why are we cutting out, you know, a third of the population because we're not educated in it? So I think that our industry needs to do better. And be more inclusive, and that's just simply it. Like, I train all of my staff will work on my hair, will work on my mum's hair, will work on my friend's hair. And if we can get everybody in the industry knowledgeable about all different types of hair, you know, why would we not make it a better environment for everybody?
Yeah, definitely. It all comes down to training at the end of the day, doesn't it? And I think if someone does come in that's mixed race or black, that then the stylists don't just freak out and think, oh no, automatically they're going to be hard. And it's the same in the beauty side of industry. Like, when we do lash extensions, I know a lot of lash techs that will go, oh no, I can't do black lashes because they'll be thicker or curlier or shorter. And we should be taught to know how to do them lashes, so that we're not turning them away. Lashes,
Exactly.
hair, lashes is lashes. It's exactly
Exactly. And it's education. And if people, like makeup artists, like, why would you have a kit that doesn't include all skin tones? I don't think you can be a makeup artist if you're not going to include all skin tones. You know, I'm paying for a service, why would I bring my own makeup with me? You know, I have been lucky that that's not happened, but in the past I couldn't get hold of, you know, makeup that worked for my skin tone, so I barely wore it. And it's just that we should be making sure that everybody feels included, because we don't know how that makes somebody feel by returning them down. I remember wanting to be, you know, whiter. I remember wanting to have whiter hair so that I was able to get it done. And that's something that no little girl should ever grow up thinking or believing, that they have to change the way they are to become accepted.
Yeah, definitely. That's just really sad, isn't it, that you or any other little girl would even think that. Even when it comes down to social media feeds, like, obviously we go onto Instagram, we go onto our grid, and that's where like our shop front is, especially for those that haven't got shops, and that's where people will look before they even come to us. Do you not think as well, like, we should be adding more of a variety of different cultures onto our feed? So if people are doing hair, where is the Afro-Caribbean hair? Or if people are doing lashes, where are them lash dots of black skin? Like,
Absolutely.
adding more of that in.
And it's really difficult because we are still a minority, so you can't pick and choose who's going to come to you. And we do tend to find we have a lot of mixed race clients, and we'll post every client, you know, up. The befores and afters are amazing on a keratin blow dry, on color changes. But you can't force people to come into your salon and pick a style that you might particularly want. Like, I've actually had it from a black woman contact me to say that I didn't have enough diversity on my page on the Invisiweave, and I was like, hon, you're barking up the wrong tree. You can see the backs of people's heads here. You're actually really misinformed. I am on the page. I am mixed race. Like, sorry, just because we're having straighter hair on our page, if somebody came to me with curly hair, I would do it. But we're a new business. We have very limited images. So maybe go and, bark up someone else's tree. But things like online retailers, Pretty Little Thing are amazing. They always have women of all colours, women of all shapes and sizes. House of CB, unreal. But there is a few other companies that maybe should work slightly towards more diverse women, and we are still buying the clothes, so why do we not want to see what it looks like on us? And that's exactly it. It's just inclusion, and it's not excluding people because it doesn't fit your target market, because you're missing a massive target market if that is your thought process. So it's just, just trying to put it out there a little bit more, I suppose, because we don't consciously think of it, because like I said, a lot of us aren't racist. We're just not doing anti-racist work, and the anti-racist work is inclusion, making everybody have a voice, showcasing every single different hair type out there so that they are reflected in your business.
Definitely. I love that. Well, Rochelle, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you on social media if they want to get in touch?
So the Instagram for my salon is at the Dolls House MK. Mine is at rochelle.mama. That's ROCHELLE.mama, MAMA. At the Invisiweave. Also, Facebook is the Dolls House Salon and the Invisiweave, and that's all my handles.
Fabulous. So there's a lot of handles. We'll put them in the show notes as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a lovely talking to you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
We would love to hear what you thought about this episode.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Please leave a review and share on social media tagging @KG Salon so we can share.
I always follow them.
Until next time, have an amazing, successful week.